Namaste to all the students. Khushbu Bhatia, myself JVN Dr. Khushbu Verma, Faculty of Agriculture and Veterinary Science. Today we will discuss about artificial chromosome vectors. Example, yak, yeast artificial chromosome. So today we will discuss about this, and this session is related to recombinant DNA technology course of program BTech FBT 6th trimester and BSc BT 6th trimester. Here we can see again table, comparative table where we can study cloning vectors and their insert capacities. We can simply see that yak has approximately 100 to 2000 kilo base pair insert capacity for foreign DNA molecule. It's very much higher in comparison to all vector systems like plasmid, bacteriophage lambda, cosmid, phosmid, bacteriophage, BAC, PAC. It's higher than that. But highest capacity is for human artificial chromosome vector, which is more than 2000 kilobase pair. So yeast artificial chromosome, YAC, are genetically engineered chromosomes derived from the DNA of yeast, yeast Saccharomyces cerevisiae. Artificial chromosome vectors allow the cloning within yeast cells of fragment of foreign DNA molecules that can approach 500 kilobase pair in size. If we talk about the component of the yak, so the vector contains several elements of typical yeast chromosomes, including yeast centromere, which is CN4, yeast autonomously replicating sequence, ARS1, yeast telomer, TEL region, genes for yak selection in yeast, and bacterial replicating origin and a bacterial selectable marker. Here we can see ARS1, telomere region, which have restriction sites over there, BAM H1, say HIND third, EXA1, EQR1 restriction site, SMA1, SAL1, and selectable marker like ampicillin region, origin for replication process. Now come to the construction of yak. A yak is built using an initial circular DNA plasmid, which is typically cut into a linear DNA molecule using restriction enzymes. Then DNA ligase is then used to ligate a DNA sequence or gene of interest into the linearized DNA, forming a single large circular piece of DNA molecule. Here we can see a flow diagram which can simply make it understandable for the function or process of yak for inserting DNA molecules and then transforming it into yeast cell. Here we can see yak vector, origin of replication. This is centromere, selectable marker B, selectable marker A, telomere region, and this one is also telomere region. Telomere regions will have BAM-H1 restriction sites, and in between centromere and selectable marker A, here will be EcoR1 site. But first of all, it will be digested with BAM-H1. BAM-H1 will cut at both ends, and this section will be removed, and from one telomere to second telomere, it will be linearized. Next, again digestion, but with the different restriction enzyme, it will be EcoR1. It will cut in here and will make large arm and short arm. Large arm will have selectable marker B and small arm will have selectable marker A. On the other hand, fragments of genomic DNA which are target DNA, it will also be digested with EcoR1 and it will create sticky ends. Then these target DNA will be ligated in between large arm and short arm, and we get recombinant yak vector having gene of interest. Then this recombinant yak vector will transform into the yeast cell, but first of all, yeast cell need to remove cell wall. So enzymatic digestion will be done to remove cell wall from the yeast cell. Now this yeast cell without cell wall is yeast spheroplast. Then this recombinant yak vector will be transformed into the yeast spheroplast. Then this recombinant culture will be grown in selectable media having selectable marker constituents. Then which yeast cell having recombinant vector only can grow because they have selectable marker A and B both, and non-recombinant cell will not be survive on that selectable media. So that's how recombinant vector will be produced and then transformed into the yeast cell, and then a selection of transformed yeast cell will be done. Now come to the applications of yak. So yak like have an advantage over bacterial artificial chromosome in that they can be used to express eukaryotic proteins that require post-translation modifications. By being able to insert large fragments of DNA, yak can be utilized to clone and assemble the entire genomes of an organism. With the insertion of yak into yeast cells, they can be propagated as linear artificial chromosome, cloning the inserted regions of DNA into the process. With this completed, two processes can be used to obtain a sequenced genome or region of interest. First is physical mapping, second is chromosome walking method. Now come to the limitations of using yak vector. So large DNA molecules are very fragile and prone to breakage, leading to problem of rearrangement. High rate of loss of the entire yak during mitotic growth, and difficult to separate yak from the other host chromosome because of their similar size. Separation requires sophisticated pulse filled gel electrophoresis, which is PFGE, and yield of DNA is not high when the yak is isolated from the yeast cell. That is a major problem, and clones tend to be unstable with their foreign DNA inserts often being deleted. So this is a sum up of this session, and this session is powered by digital version 2.0 Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University. Hope you are satisfied with my digital session. If you have any query, please mention in comment box. I will resolve it. Thank you.